Come on up. We're going to start with Ms. Hill in person number 12. Come on up, Ms. Hill. We don't have many files ready, so we'll get started with what we have. Good morning. Your name, please.
Asia Hill.
Thank you. You're here on the matter where you have a warrant for your arrest for failing to appear. Case 24046-259, People State of Michigan versus Bernasia Rochelle Hill, also known as Bernasia Hill. Appearance for the people.
Thank you, Magistrate. Good afternoon, Steve Vincent, P7191.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Christina Harris, P52857, on behalf of Bernasia Rochelle Hill. Stands mute, waives the formal reading. Like a plea of not guilty entered for her, and to set aside is there a capias? Yes, a capias of 1925.
And has she been advised of her constitutional rights?
She's been advised of her statutory and constitutional rights.
Thank you, counsel. Court recall anyone set aside capias, waive formal reading and her plea of not guilty. Ms. Hill, I'm scheduling a pretrial date via Zoom. You must attend February 7th, Friday, in front of Judge Austin Garrett, 36th District Court. Understood? 8:30.
Yes.
Not guilty, please enter as the bond from the people.
Magistrate, we have no objection for you continuing this bond. It appears this, though, the defendant ended up posting on 1/15 of 25, that $500 cash surety that Judge Garrett ended up issuing. If I may, Judge, though, at arraignment, this individual was given a $50,000 personal with the tether house arrest. If I could just inquire as to whether or not the defendant ended up getting that tether as well as home confinement.
Yes,
Counsel.
she is currently in possession and wearing a tether.
Okay, and I appreciate that, defense counsel. With that being said, we wouldn't be challenging the posting of that cash bond. Ask you to continue it.
So you're asking that the bond be
Response.
continued? The bond that she's supposed to be continued?
That's what the people are recommending, yes.
Thank you.
Response?
No objection. Thank you.
You're welcome. So that sounds right. You posted, counsel, she posted the bond that's accurate as stated by the people of 500 cash surety or cash on or about January 5th of 2025. Is that your understanding as well?
15th.
15th, I apologize. Yep, that's what the people said, 15th. Okay. All right, so this is an assaultive allegation. You have missed court. I've reviewed the investigator's report. Given the fact you surrendered yourself to the authority, you posted bond. After review of the report and lack of assaultive history, I'm going to follow their recommendation. The bond you posted on about January 15th of 2025 with $500 cash is going to be continued. During this bond, there is no use of any alcohol, no illegal controlled substance. You are not to purchase or possess a firearm or any dangerous weapon, no weapons, no contact with the Melrose block in the city of Detroit, or no contact with any complaining witness, including Ms. Hill and Ms. Smith, and that's no contact of any kind. No contact orally and writing through a third party at their place of residency, employment, or through any forms of social media. Absolutely no contact with any complaining witness. Understood?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about your court date or bond conditions?
No.
Anything from people or defense?
No, I appreciate you. Thanks, Magistrate.
Nothing from defense. Thank you.
Welcome. Ms. Hill, you're going to be directed from the officers behind you from this point. Just have a seat. And good luck. Everything okay? What do you got? Defense counsel, do we know if the other in-person number 11 is present?
Have not located her just yet. Thank you for asking.
Okay. We'll get to the DDC. Good afternoon, DDC. I don't have the second sheet though, I think. I thought we added two.
We don't have a policy. You want us to know.
All right, I'll put mine. Good afternoon. AK. Good to see you. They're just continuing the bond. She posted. Good afternoon, sir. I hope you've enjoyed your lunch. If you got one at your pleasure, bring them as such. Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Mhm.
Good afternoon. Your name, please. Thank you, Mr. Union. You're on case 2505552, people, state of Michigan versus Marlon DeMarco Union, also as Marlon DeCarlo Union. Appearance for the people.
Good afternoon, Lisa Coyle, appearing on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Christina Harris, P52857, on behalf of Marlon Union, who stands mute, waives the formal reading, and he's been advised of his statutory and constitutional rights.
Thank you. Good afternoon. To the court waive formal reading and plea of not guilty, Mr. Union. I'm scheduling 2 court dates. You must attend both. Probable cause via Zoom, February the 4th, 8:30, 36th District Court, Judge Robbins. You have a right to a preliminary examination in person, February the 11th, 8:30, 36th District Court, Judge Jefferson. Understood the 2 court date and times you must attend, Mr. Union?
Yes.
Not guilty, please enter on your behalf as the bond from the people.
Your Honor, I do not see criminal history for Mr. Union. He's 23 years old. This is non-assaultive. This is a traffic stop. No objection to a 5,000 personal.
Thank you.
Do not
Response?
object to the 5,000 personal bond. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Union. I'm unaware of any assaultive convictions. I've reviewed the investigator's report. I heard advocacy from both parties. Given the nature of this allegation, bond will be set as recommended $5,000 personal bond. During this bond, Mr. Union, there is no use of any alcohol, no illegal controlled substance, and you're not to purchase or possess a firearm or any dangerous weapons. No weapons. Any questions on your court dates or your bond conditions, Mr. Union?
No, that's it. No.
You're all set.
May I please hear again of his preliminary examination? Your Honor, I
What's
didn't
that?
get his exam date, please, and thank you.
February the 11th, 8:30, in
Thank
person,
you.
Judge Jefferson. Welcome, sir. Get your hands down. Put your hands down by your side and say your full name.
My name is Dylan Willis.
Thank you, Mr. Willis. You're here on case 2504430, people, state of Michigan versus Dylan Eddie Willis, also as Dylan Willis. Appearances.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Samuel A. Ragland, 223-157 on behalf of the people. Good afternoon, Ms. Harris.
Good afternoon to you both. Christina Harris, P52857, on behalf of Dylan Willis, who stands mute, waives the formal reading, and he's been advised of his statutory and constitutional rights.
Both court waive formal reading and their plea of not guilty. Mr. Willis, I'm scheduling a pretrial via Zoom. You must attend February 7th, 8:30, 36th District Court, Judge Jones. Understood? Understood? Sir, you have a court date you must attend via Zoom, February the 7th, in front of Judge Jones at 8:30 at the 36th District Court. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Not guilty, please enter on your behalf as the bond from the people.
Your Honor, the defendant has a number of cases pending. He's had a number of cases where he has failed to appear. He was arraigned yesterday, in fact, on a retail fraud third and given 2,000 personal bond. But the ones he has are 121.25 and 16.25. But people are going to ask for $25,000, but we're going to ask for a tether, Your Honor. I think it's the only way to keep track of the defendant because he gets arrested on one day and then goes a few days later and gets arrested again for the same crime somewhere else. So I think that he needs to show up for court, his case is resolved, and I think he needs other to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any convictions you're aware of?
No, Your Honor. I'm
Assault?
not.
Okay, thank you. Response? Thank you. I'm sorry.
Respond
Go
by
ahead.
saying that Mr. Willis is innocent until he's proven guilty. I have no record of no other case except for this retail fraud case, and that he has no convictions, as he stated, and no criminal history at all. He's employed at a sports bar. He lives with his family and understands the importance of returning for court. And so for that reason, I'm asking for a personal bond.
APA, were those other allegations at a Family Dollar?
You know, Your
If you
Honor, I do know that the one on 125 was, but I do not know the other ones.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Willis, this is a non-assaultive allegation. As you just heard, I'm unaware of any convictions, assaultive or otherwise. The allegations here, you're stealing Tide laundry detergent and a container of Tide Pods. Now, I've reviewed the investigator's report, no assaultive history. I have concerns that you're picking up a number of allegations, but these are allegations at this point. For those reasons, lack of history, assaultive or otherwise convictions, and review of the report, this is charges a 93-day misdemeanor. Bond is going to be set at a $10,000 personal bond with the following conditions. During this bond, there is no use of any alcohol, no illegal controlled substance. You're not to purchase or possess a firearm or any dangerous weapons, and you're not to go back to the premises or area of any Family Dollar, period. And that includes the one on West Warren. No Family Dollars. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Any questions on your court date or bond conditions? Any questions?
No, sir. No, sir.
No, you're all set. Good luck.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Cool.
Brad Carter? Yes.
Do we have a Brandon Carter? Number 2 and 3. What's that? Yep. All right. So, Mr. Carter, you're here for a number of matters, number of reasons. We're going to handle some traffic or warrant you after your arrest first. On these matters, Mr. Carter, you're going to be released on a personal bond, no dollar amount. I'm scheduling a pretrial via Zoom, February the 4th, 8:30, 36th District Court, Judge Kennedy. Understood?
Yes, sir.
As with any criminal matter, you have a right to remain silent. Anything that you say orally or in writing can and will be used against you in a court of law. You do have the right to an attorney at questioning and at all future proceedings. If you cannot afford an attorney, Mr. Carter, the court will appoint you one at the public's expense. Did you hear and understand your rights?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. This is regarding ticket number SP 1106775 on or about January 12th of 2021. Failed to display valid driver's license not on person. Ticket numbers SP 1220783, July 3rd, 2021. Count 1, no insurance misdemeanor on a 2015 Chevy. Count 2, driver while license suspended. SP 1264907, October the 24th, 2021. Count 2 only. Count 1 is closed. Apparently, count 2, drive unregistered untitled motor vehicle. And ticket number 1939930, July 20th, 2019. I have an adjudicated matter, no ops, scheduled for review. Count 1 only. And on 204813112, June 20th, 2020, no operator's license on possession. These are all misdemeanor allegations that carry up to a $500 fine and or 93 days in jail is a maximum fine and penalty. Court recall any warrant, set aside capias, enter a not guilty plea on the open matters. As a reminder, pretrial reviews will be scheduled same date, time, February 4th, 8:30, 36th District Court via Zoom, Judge Kennedy.
Yes, sir.
You have we have a couple more matters. We're going to call them one at a time. State your name again. No, you're fine. Your name one more time, Mr. Carter.
Brandon Carter.
All right, this is, we have a warrant for your arrest on case number 240555616, people, state of Michigan versus Brandon Leroy Carter. Appearances.
Family Reagan for the people, Your Honor.
Thank
Good
you.
afternoon, Christina Harris, P 52857 on behalf of Brandon Carter, who stands mute, waives a formal reading, and has been advised of his statutory and constitutional rights.
Or recall any warrant, set aside capious, enter a not guilty plea on the open matter. Mr. Carter, on this matter, I'm scheduling 2 court dates, February 7th via Zoom, 8:30, 36th District Court Judge Taylor. And you have a right to a preliminary examination in person, February 14th, 8:30, 36th District Court Judge Taylor. Understood?
Yes, sir.
All right, this matters 20,000 cash. The bond was, the warrant was set on about June 21st, 2024. It's my understanding, Madam Clerk reached out to the judge of record, Judge Taylor, and bond is apparently to remain the same.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Anything? All right, anything
Nothing.
from the people or defense?
No, he just has another case with the same situation.
Yep, we'll call that one next. Similar situation. So on this matter, Mr. Carter, as you've heard, the bond is placed at $20,000 cash for your failure to appear. I have no authority to change that bond, so it's going to be continued. We have multiple capious on this matter. During this bond, there is no use of any alcohol, no illegal controlled substance, and you're not to purchase or possess a firearm or any dangerous weapons, no weapons. Is that all understood?
Yes, sir.
So is that unaffordable?
Is it affordable for me to be able to afford 20,000 right now?
I was asking your.
Yes, it is.
I'm in school right now, so they picked me up from Wayne State, so I just got a scholarship for 15,000. I don't think I have 20,000.
No, I'm not talking about your scholarship money. You use that to school. Counsel, is this unaffordable for your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. So, Mr. Carter, based on your counsel's representation, I'm scheduling an additional court date, January 30th. That's 2 days from today. That'll be at 9 a.m. via Zoom in front of Chief Judge McConaughey. If you're unable to post this bond, you'll see the Chief Judge or someone in his stead, and there'll be an attorney present to represent you, and you'll be able to re-argue bond at that point. Understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, one additional matter similarly situated. State your name again, please.
Brandon Carter.
All right, and this is on case 240575260, people, state of Michigan versus Brandon Leroy Carter. Appearances, also known as Brandon Carter, Brandon
For the
Leroy
people, Your
Carter.
Honor.
Thank you.
Christina Harris, P 52857 on behalf of Brandon Carter, who stands mute, waives a formal reading, and he's been advised of all his statutory and constitutional rights.
Thank you both. Court, wait, formal reading, recall warrant. That's IKT Center, a not guilty plea. You're gonna have the same court date and times, Mr. Carter. You're gonna have a probable cause, same judge, February 7th via Zoom, 8:30, Judge Taylor. You have a right to a preliminary examination in person, February 14th, Judge Taylor. And based on your counsel's representation, I'm scheduling an unaffordable bond redetermination, January 30th, 2025, 9 a.m. via Zoom, Chief Judge McConaughey. Understand those court date and times, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, bond on this matter is set 20,000 cash, failure to appear June 21st, 2024. The judge did not authorize any bond change, anything from people or defense.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Nothing further. Thank you.
Same as the last one, Mr. Carter. I have no authority, sir, to change this bond, so it's going to be continued for your failure to appear at $20,000 cash. During this bond, as well as the other bond, no use of any alcohol, no illegal controlled substance, and you're not to purchase or possess a firearm or any dangerous weapon. And you will have that bond redetermination hearing same day, January 30th, 9 a.m. Chief Judge McConaughey via Zoom if you're unable to post bond. Do you have any questions on your court dates or bond conditions, sir?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Carter, you got to show up to court, sir. You've missed court a number of times. Show up. Good luck with your scholarship in school.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thanks, Claudia. Name, please. DJ Solomon, good afternoon. Thank you. Are there two defendants? Do you want to call them both together? Any objection calling together from the
There
two
are
court
three.
defendants? I don't know if all three are going, are they? I think just 1 and 2 are going.
Just 1 and 2. But
I don't know. I
however
know
many,
actually we have a 3. We don't have anything prepped for the third one though.
number 10.
Yeah, I do see them on the docket, but we only have right here,
Okay.
1 and 2 prepped. Out of the
Whichever
three.
the court prefers.
All right, so we're gonna, what do you need? All right, we're just gonna call them one at a time. Again, thank you both. It looks like all 3 are going. We just need to prep the file. Mr. Solomon, state your full name again.
DJ Solomon.
Thank you. And this is case 250-555-3101, People State of Michigan versus DJ Sincere Solomon. Appearances. I need to file that one.
Jennifer Douglas for the people, P72748.
Thank you.
Christina Harris, P52857, on behalf of DJ Solomon, who stands mute, waives the formal reading of the complaint, and he's been advised of all his constitutional and statutory rights.
Thank you both. The court will waive formal reading and enter a plea of not guilty. Mr. Solomon, I'm scheduling 2 court dates, sir. You must attend both. Probable cause via Zoom, February the 4th, 8:30, 36th District Court, Judge Robbins. You have a right to a preliminary examination in person, February the 11th, 8:30, 36th District Court, Judge Giles. Understood those 2 court date and times you must attend, Mr. Solomon.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Not guilty, please enter it on your behalf and ask a bond from the people.
Your Honor, Mr. Solomon, the people wouldn't object to a $35,000 personal bond. There is some allegation of Mr. Solomon pulling and pushing to try to get away during this. So, Your Honor, given the allegations, we wouldn't object to a personal, but we are asking for that higher of $35,000 personal.
Thank you. Response.
We definitely do not object to a personal bond, but we're asking for a bond in the amount of $10,000 personal. He has no prior criminal history, no cases pending, and he's employed.
What type of work
And
does he do?
understands the importance of returning for all court hearing days.
What type of work does he do?
He works at a senior living center.
Mr. Solomon, this is a serious allegation. It is not assaultive. I'm unaware of any assaultive convictions. I've considered your employment status as it relates to ability to depose bond, as well as after review of the investigator's report and given the nature of this allegation, bond is going to be set as recommended by your counsel, $10,000 personal bond. During this bond, Mr. Solomon, you are not to use any alcohol, no illegal controlled substance, and you are not to purchase or possess a firearm or any dangerous weapon, no weapons. Do you have any questions on your court dates or bond conditions, Mr. Solomon? Any questions? All right, you're all set. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. James, and thank you, officers. This case 250553102, People State of Michigan versus Jawan Lee James, identifying the plaintiff's defendant 2. Parents for the people.
Jennifer Douglas for the people, P72748.
Good afternoon. Christina Harris, P52857, on behalf of Jawan James, stands mute, waives the formal reading of the complaint, and has been advised of his statutory and constitutional rights.
Thank you, counsel. Mr. James, court waive formal reading, enter plea of not guilty. I'm scheduling 2 court dates. You must attend both of them. Probable cause via Zoom, February the 4th, 8:30, 36th District Court, Judge Robbins. You have a right to a preliminary examination in person, February 11th, 8:30, 36th District Court, Judge Giles. Understood, Mr. James?
Understood.
Not guilty, please enter it on your behalf as the bond from the people.
Your Honor, Mr. James, the people wouldn't object to a $5,000 personal bond. Mr. James, based on his lien, has not had prior police contact, which sets him apart from his co-defendants, Your Honor, or at least sets him apart from Mr. Solomon. Mr. James was not accused of wrestling or struggling with the police at all. So, Your Honor, the people are not objecting to a 5,000 personal.
Thank
No
you.
objection. We
Please
everyone
comment.
concur with $5,000 personal bond.
Thank you. All right, Mr. James, I'm unaware that you have any assaultive history, criminal, capious or otherwise, assaultive or otherwise. You're charged with carrying a concealed weapon. That's a very serious 5-year felony. That's again, non-assaultive. I reviewed the investigative report, given your lack of history, and any employment status presented by counsel relates to ability to post bond. I'm following their recommendation, Mr. James. Bond will be set $5,000 personal bond. During this bond, there is no use of any alcohol, no illegal controlled substance, and you are not to purchase or possess a firearm or any dangerous weapons. No weapons, period. Understood, Mr. James? Any questions on your court dates or your bond conditions, sir? Mr. James, any questions on your court dates or bond conditions? No. You're all set.
Thank you.
Thank you. Your name? You're on case 250-55531, People State of Michigan versus Tyler and LeBron Ray, also identified in the complaint as defendant 3. Appearance for the people.
Jennifer Douglas for the people, P72748.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Christina Harris, P52857, on behalf of Talon Ray, who stands mute, waives the formal reading of the complaint. He's been advised of his statutory and constitutional rights.
Thank you both. Good evening. Court waive formal reading under plea of not guilty. Mr. Ray, I'm scheduling 2 court dates. You must attend both. Let's get your hands down by your side, please. On probable cause via Zoom, February the 5th, February 5th. That's a Wednesday, 8:30, Judge Giles, 36th District Court. You have a right to a preliminary examination in person the following Wednesday, February 12th, 8:30, 36th District Court, both Judge Giles. Understood the court date and times you must attend, Mr. Ray.
No, I apologize, sir. Repeat it. Can I get closer?
What did you just say?
Can you repeat it? I apologize. About the date.
Yes, absolutely. February the 5th, via Zoom, 8:30, Judge Giles, that's a Wednesday. You have a right to a preliminary examination in person the following Wednesday, February 12th, 8:30, Judge Giles. Understood?
Understood.
Not guilty, please, on your behalf, waive formal reading as the bond from the people.
Your Honor,
Your Honor,
Mr.
may
Ray,
I
the
say
people.
something? Just right quick.
Wait,
Just
no,
noting-
let Ms. Douglas,
Okay,
Ms. Douglas
okay.
finish. Any others?
Okay.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Your Honor, Mr. Ray, the people wouldn't object to 35,000 personal. Mr. Ray is accused of pushing and pulling on officers while they were trying to arrest one of the co-defendants in very close quarters, where a firearm was being pulled out and then dropped on the ground. So, Your Honor, this was a potentially dangerous situation. Fortunately, nobody seems to have been seriously hurt, Your Honor. But we are asking for that higher personal, 35,000 personal, given the allegations.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead, the response.
I wanted to speak first on the fact that the co-defendants were given different court dates, 2/4.
Understood.
February 4th.
Yep, I know what they were, and that was intentional.
Okay, thank you. And so now as to bond, Mr. Ray is employed on a full-time basis as a bus attendant. He has no convictions and no prior criminal history, no pending cases. He lives with his mother in the city of Detroit. It's a life resident and understands the importance of returning innocent until he's proven guilty. And for that reason, I'm asking for a 10,000 personal bond.
Thank you both. Mr. Ray, this is a very concerning allegation. I reviewed the investigator's report. I share the concerns from the APA. Given advocacy, your counsels did a good job, as always, advocating on your behalf. I'm unaware, as your counsel stated, of any history, criminal, assaultive, or capious. After review of the report and advocacy from both parties, considering your employment status presented by counsel relates to ability to post bond, I'm setting bond as recommended by the people, $35,000 personal bond. During this bond, Mr. Ray, and given your age, there is no use of any alcohol, no illegal controlled substance, and you are not to purchase or possess a firearm or any dangerous weapon, no weapons. Do you have any questions, Mr. Ray, on your court dates or your bond conditions?
Yes, do I have, how much is my bond?
It's $35,000 personal bond. You don't have to post any money. Just listen to the court and show up, or that could change.
Okay,
All right, you're all set. Good luck.
Thank you, Your Honor.
With that MDOC number. Okay, and one moment, everybody, just let me know when you're finished stretching. Good? Okay, that's good. To hear. All right. Everybody, just to let you know, from the morning, the individual from the MDOC, Madam Clerk just told me that they informed her he was released. He was released, just to let everybody know is what I've been told. Okay, sir, state your name.
Tremaine Edwards.
Tremaine Edwards, good afternoon, sir. You're here on case 240605111. People State of Michigan versus Tremaine James Edwards. Appearances.
Samuel A. Reagan for the people, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Christina Harris, P52857 on behalf of Tremaine James Edwards, who stands mute, waives the formal reading of the complaint, and has been advised of his statutory and constitutional rights.
Thank you both. For waive formal reading and if they're not guilty, Mr. Edwards, I'm scheduling 2 court dates. You must attend both of them. Probable cause via Zoom, Thursday, February the 6th, 8:30, 36th District Court, Judge Jefferson. You have a right to a preliminary examination scheduled in person following Thursday, February 13th, in person, 8:30, Judge Jefferson. Understood?
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
Not guilty, please enter on your behalf, waiving the formal reading as the bond from the people.
You're asking for a $20,000 personal bond in this matter, Your Honor. This matter was back from January 1st, 2022. It wasn't arraigned, wasn't filed until 11/15/24, and he has no record. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No objection to the personal bond, as this matter was, as he stated, the incident was allegedly in January of 2022 and was entered in November of 2024.
Okay, thank you.
And also asking for a repeat of the preliminary examination date, please, and thank you.
February 13th.
Thank you.
Mr. Edwards, this is a non-assaultive. I'm unaware of any history, criminal or capious. For those reasons, I'm following both parties' recommendation after review of the report. Allegation took place back in 2022. Bond will be set $20,000 personal bond. Mr. Edwards, during this bond, there is no use of any alcohol, no illegal controlled substance, and you are not to purchase or possess a firearm or any dangerous weapon. No weapons. Understood, Mr. Edwards?
Yes.
Any questions on your court dates or your bond conditions, Mr. Edwards?
No, I have no questions.
Go up, sir. Good luck.
Mark Lacy.
Did you say Mark Lacey?
Yes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Lacey. You're here for a couple of reasons. We're going to go through them one at a time. First, you have a warrant for your arrest for failing to appear at the 36th District Court. On this matter, Mr. Lacey, you'll receive a personal bond, no dollar amount. Scheduling a pretrial via Zoom, you must attend February 4th, 8:30, 36th District Court via Zoom, Judge Perkins. Understood, Mr. Lacey?
Sir.
Thank you. As with any criminal matter, sir, you have a right to remain silent. Anything that you say orally or in writing can and will be used against you in the court of law. You do have the right to an attorney at questioning and at all future proceedings. If you cannot afford an attorney, the court will appoint you one at the public's expense. Did you hear and understand your rights, sir?
Yes, sir.
Ticket number SP 1572496, May 13th, 2024, drive with revoked license. Personal bond, no dollar amount. Recall any warrant set aside. KP is not guilty. Please enter. This carries up to $500 fine and or 93 days in jail as a maximum fine and penalty. Recall on any warrant. As a reminder, February 4th via Zoom, 8:30, Judge Perkins. State your full name again, Mr. Lacey. You have an additional case, sir.
Mark Lacy.
Mark Lacy is here on this matter in case 240-61206. People State of Michigan versus Mark Isaiah Lacy, also known as Mark Isaiah Lacy, Mark Isaiah Lacy, Mark Isaiah Lacy, Mark Lacy, Deshawn Elvino Hicks, and Mark is Case Lacy. Transit.
Jennifer Douglas for the people, P72748.
Thank you.
Christina Harris, P52857, on behalf of Mark Isaiah Lacy, who stands mute, waives the formal reading of the complaint, and he's been advised of all his statutory and constitutional rights.
Thank you. For waive formal reading on our plea of not guilty. Mr. Lacy, I'm scheduling 2 court dates. You must attend both probable cause via Zoom. February 11th, 8:30, 36th District Court, Judge Taylor. You have a right to a preliminary examination in person, February 18th, 8:30, 36th District Court, Judge Taylor. Understood those 2 court date and times you must attend.
Yes, sir.
Not guilty, please enter on your behalf as the bond from the people.
Your Honor, Mr. Lacy, the people are asking for a bond of $75,000 personal with tether house arrest. Your Honor, here, while this is non-assaultive, it is extremely serious. Conducting a criminal enterprise, commonly known as racketeering, is a very serious offense. And with the HAB 4 notice, Mr. Lacy, if convicted of that, would be looking at some serious prison time, being eligible for that. He does have multiple priors. I would note that he's currently on probation. He's been on probation, according to Otis, since October 6th of 23. And that is for the attempt fleeing second degree that we do see in the HAB notice, Your Honor. I would note that I found 2 pending cases for Mr. Lacy. According to, based on looking at his lien, he had 2 cases out in Macomb County, and on the court view, I did find 2 cases that match up with what's on his lien. Your Honor, I did send the register of actions to defense counsel's colleagues. According to the court view for Macomb County, Mr. Lacy has 2 pending cases. One is case number 2024-001646, and then the other one is 2024-001629, Your Honor. In the case ending in 1646, the charges there are fleeing second degree, 2 counts of FA, and 1 count of forgery license or plate. The bond on that was $100,000 cash or surety with tether house arrest. And it appears that there have been some show cause hearings with the bail bondsman on that case based on the register of actions, Your Honor. Then we have the case that ends in 1629. It has a failure to appear for the same date as the other case. So both are showing a failure to appear on September 16th of 2024, Your Honor. So like I said, the case I just talked about, the bond is showing as $100,000 cash or surety with tether house arrest. And then the other case has an older date of offense, which is 2021, but it's ongoing with the same failure to appear on September 16th of 24. That had been a personal bond until bond was revoked. That was a fleeing second degree case. So 2 pending fleeing cases based on what I see on the lien and court view. And then we have him on probation. And then we have him allegedly conducting a criminal enterprise with multiple break-ins and his tether placing him at the locations. So, Your Honor, I'm not objecting to a personal since it's non-assaultive, but I am asking for a higher personal. I'm asking for tether house arrest. I don't know what happened to the tether house arrest for the Macomb County case. But in theory, if his tether is kept charged, a tether house arrest would keep the public safe.
Thank you. Response.
You say response? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yes, please. Yep.
Thank you. Mr. Lacy understands the importance of coming back for court. He's innocent until he's proven guilty. He is a life resident of this area. He understands the seriousness of this offense, and I'm asking for a bond in the amount of $30,000 personal, maybe with a tether also.
Okay, thank you. All right,
But he
Mr.
does
Lacy.
work. He is employed.
Thank you. Mr. Lacy, the council's advocated well on your behalf. I disagree that you understand the importance of coming to court. As you demonstrated in the past, you don't listen. You fail to appear on unrelated matters, and that's taken into consideration as it relates to your ability to post bond as well as your intention to appear. I'm also, I have a high likelihood of conviction as in apparently a number of these allegations of you breaking and entering homes April 30th, May 1st, May 2nd, May 2nd, May 4th, May 4th. These allegations, apparently while you're currently on probation, and some of these allegations took place, if not all of them, apparently, while you're on a GPS tether on an unrelated matter, which the court finds is, I don't know if it's brazen or what, but the allegations are that you continue to commit offenses that you've been convicted for previously while on a GPS tether, putting you at the time, location of each of these allegations based on your tether and the crimes that were alleged to have been committed. And so I do find there's a high likelihood of conviction. I have concerns regarding the safety of the public and specifically your intention to appear, as you've demonstrated in the past, you do not listen. And for those reasons, given your probation status, your failure to appear as indicated by the people, as well as what's been placed on the record, bond will be set as recommended by the people, $75,000 personal bond with the following conditions. During this bond, there is no use of any alcohol, no illegal controlled substance. You're not to purchase or possess a firearm or any dangerous weapon, no weapons. You're to have no contact with any of the complaining witnesses. Miss Dunn, Miss Cage, Mr. Fumia, Mr. Hadi, Mr. Kesto, Mr. Dubin, or any of their places of residency. This will all be laid out in the bond conditions. No contact with them is no contact of any complainant of any kind. No contact orally and writing through a third party at their place of residency, employment, or through any forms of social media. No contact with any complaining witness or any of their locations. Is that understood?
Yes, sir. You said who was the,
Wait, I'm not
no
finished. In 1 second, I'll let you ask whatever questions you have. I just have a couple more things I need to say. And when you're released, within 24 hours, you must tell your probation officer that you picked up this new case. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
And before you're being released, you'll be fit with the GPS tether, and I will place you under house arrest. You're not to leave your home for any reason unless court ordered. If you leave any reason or go anywhere near these complaining witnesses, it's a violation of the court's bond, subject to get you picked up without a warrant, have your bond conditions forfeited and or revoked. Do you have any questions on your court dates or your bond conditions?
Sir.
Okay, I cut you off a minute ago. You were going to, you don't have to say anything or ask questions. You have a right to remain silent. You're being recorded, but did you have a question when I cut you off, or is it answered?
Yes, you said I can't go around. Who I can't go around?
Well, you can't even leave your house, so you're not to go anywhere unless it's court or medical. You're not to go anywhere, but you're not to have any contact with any of the complaining witnesses, meaning any of the victims that you allege to have stolen from. And you're not to go anywhere near them or contact them in any way, but you're not to leave your home for any reason unless court ordered or medical. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions on your court dates or bond conditions?
No, sir. I asked the deputy to write it down for me, so I won't forget.
The deputy will give you the information in writing.
If you don't have any questions, you're all set, Mr. Lacy. Your name, please.
Antoine Leggett.
Thank you, Mr. Leggett. You're going to case 250-55366. People say to Michigan as Antoine Earl Leggett, also known as Antoine Leggett. Appearances.
Lisa Coyle appearing on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon, Christina Harris, P52857, on behalf of Antoine Leggett, who stands mute, waives the formal reading, and he's been advised of his statutory and constitutional rights.
Thank you both. Court waive formal reading under plea of not guilty, Mr. Leggett. I'm scheduling 2 court dates. You must attend both of them. Probable cause via Zoom, February 4th, Tuesday, 8:30, 36th District Court, Judge Jacquet. You have a right to a preliminary examination in person, February 10th, the following Monday, 8:30, 36th District Court, Judge Duque, February 4th, February 10th, understood?
Okay.
Do you understand? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Wait for him reading in there, not guilty plea at the bond from the people.
As to Ms. Perry, which had a dating relationship for about 3 weeks. I sent defense as well as the court photographs of her injuries, as well as a photograph she had taken of him returning her gun to her at the car. But there are serious injuries. She did get a cut above her eye, but I do note that this occurred back in November of 23. That's about 13 months ago. It was only issued by the prosecutor's office 10 days ago. Nothing that I see that has occurred since this has occurred, at least that's been reported to the prosecutor's office and in their file. I do note that Mr. Leggett has a highly assaultive criminal past, although old. He has an armed robbery, assault with intent to RA, felony firearm, back from 2008, and currently at a 2023 assault and battery out of Livonia District Court. The people, based on the facts, Your Honor, or the allegations in this matter, I should say, highly assaultive, and that the people would be asking for a $10,000 cash surety. But I understand because of the length in time from the time of the assault and nothing else has occurred, as we know, and it was only been issued 10 days ago. And I'm not aware of, I did try to look, if anything, he's picked up anything since, and I'm not aware of that. There's no capious history on it. So I'm asking if the court is going to give a personal, I'm also going to ask for a tether as well. Of course.
Yeah, I think you know exactly what I was going to ask, and you beat me to it. So would you have an objection to a personal and a tether house arrest?
Your Honor, I would prefer cash, but I understand completely based on just.
Well, I appreciate both of your advocacy and recommendations. I see it similarly as you. I have concerns. I've reviewed the investigator's report. I've seen the pictures. I understand the allegations. He has a history, which is concerning. Also noted, it took place back in 2023, and the people didn't file it until
10 days ago.
And then there's nothing in between. So I understand your advocacy or your concerns, and I share them. My question is, if the court were to give a personal bond and a tether with house arrest, are the people objecting to that?
Your Honor, I would not object based on the fact that of the length of time, and as I presented to the court, and I would leave it to your discretion. I totally laid out the argument.
Thank you,
Ms. Coyle. And so, between the two of you, we actually made my argument that the incident happened in November of 2023. He has had no contact with the complaining witness. He understands the importance of returning to court. He has had no contact with the police. He works on a full-time basis from 8:00 a.m. to 4:30, 8 to 4:30, Monday through Friday. And we would not want him to have a cash bond, which would cause him to not be able to pay and lose his employment. So for that reason, we're asking for a personal bond. And we're asking that he not have a tether for the reason that he hasn't seen the complaining witness. This matter took place quite a while ago, so that he can. I just do not want him, and I'm advocating for him not to lose his employment, please, and thank you.
Right. Okay. So let's talk about the employment. He's getting a tether. APA. What's he do for a living?
I work at a place called Design Fabrications. I'm the lead supervisor and receiving there.
What are his hours, counsel?
8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Is that correct, Mr. Leggett? 8 to 4:30, yes. Monday through Friday.
Yes.
Okay, I'm putting a tether. I'm inclined at this point to do a personal bond tether, but I want to hear from APA Coyle. If I was inclined to do house arrest, I also share, I don't want him to lose his job. He's employed. So what's your opinion on curfew from 5:30 p.m. till 7 a.m.?
A work only?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll do house arrest, employment upon proof to the tether unit.
That is what I would prefer, that there be some, well, of course, they're gonna ask for proof. That's why I'm asking work only. And not just a curfew. I want like work only. So if he's not
Gotcha.
working, he's at home.
The only thing I ask about
Okay.
work only is that I think about just working people have to eat, for him to be able to stop at the grocery store to get provisions for himself.
My other
so
option
he
is
can live.
to put him
Wayne
in,
County
put a
Jail
cash
has
bond
food.
on him. Yeah, I'm trying to do an alternative for incarceration, and so if he's incarcerated, he can't go to work. So he's got a lengthy history. These are very assaultive allegations. There's a high likelihood of conviction. I've seen the allegations of the pictures of this young lady, and they are very concerning and very assaultive. So I have options. I can keep him locked up to protect her, or I can make him be at home when he's not working. Those are my options.
Well, of course, he is at home when he's not working. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you both. All right, so Mr. Leggett, you got good counsel. You've heard advocacy, and I appreciate the people's positions and advocacy on behalf of the people. You've heard my concerns. You got a history that's concerning. These allegations are extremely concerning, and I find a likelihood of conviction. The only reason I'm giving a personal bond is the length of time since this allegation took place up until when it was submitted, and the no contact that I'm aware of, according to both parties, with the complaining witness in between this offense date and when the warrant was submitted, which was roughly 7 days ago. For those reasons, bond is going to be set at a $100,000 personal bond with the following conditions. No use of any alcohol, no illegal controlled substance. You're not to purchase or possess a firearm or any dangerous weapon, no weapons. You're not to go anywhere near the Ferguson Street address of the city of Detroit, and absolutely no contact with the complaining witness, Miss Perry. And that's no contact of any kind, orally and writing through a third party at her place of residency, employment, or through any forms of social media. No contact with the complaining witness, Miss Perry. To ensure her safety, before you're released, you will be fit with the GPS tether, placing you under house arrest. You're, upon proof of employment to the tether unit, you're allowed to go to work and work only upon proof to the tether unit, otherwise house arrest. If you leave your home for any reason, less court ordered, or go anywhere near Miss Perry, that's a violation of the court's bond, subject to get you picked up without a warrant, have your bond conditions forfeited and or revoked. You understand your court dates and bond conditions, Mr. Leggett, and do you have any questions on them? Anything further from people or defense?
Yes, is this the bond amount? And 5:30, he must be in his home.
No, before, no, I didn't give I didn't give conditions. I said,
Okay.
you must be in your home and you're only allowed to leave for work purposes only. You're immediately to go back from when you're home. That's not a set time. If your work varies, you're gonna have to prove your employment to the tether unit. The tether unit will work with you on that. But whenever you get authority or authorized from the tether unit to go to work, you go straight to work and straight home. No stopping in between. Is that understood?
Yes.
Okay. And it's 100,000 personal bond. Anything else?
Thank you.
Nothing further. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anthony Jones, Anthony Pollard.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mr. Jones. 1 second, sir. Taylor, you said Anthony Jones, correct?
Yes.
All right. You have two matters, both warrants for your arrest. Any objection calling them together?
No, Your Honor, we appreciate that. Thank you.
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Jones, you're here for two matters, both warrants for your arrest. One is case 220555656, People State of Michigan versus Anthony Pollard Jones, also known as Tony Jackson, Anthony Ballard, Ronald Pollard Jones, Anthony P. Jones, Anthony Jackson, Ronald Jones, Anthony Pollard Jones, as well as case number 2205641, People State of Michigan versus Anthony Pollard Jones, also known as Tony Jackson, Anthony Ballard, Ronald Pollard Jones, Anthony P. Jones, Anthony Jackson, Ronald Jones, Anthony Pollard Jones, appearance for the people.
Samuel A. Ragland for the people, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Christina Harris, P52857, on behalf of Anthony Pollard Jones, who stands mute, waives the formal reading of the complaint, and has been advised of his statutory and constitutional right.
Thank you. Both court waive formal reading, recall warrant, set aside capious, entering not guilty plea on both matters. Mr. Jones, I'm giving you the same court date and time on each probable cause via Zoom. And February 6th, 8:30, 36th District Court, Judge Giles. You have a right to a preliminary examination in person, February 13th, 8:30, 36th District Court, Judge Giles. February 6th via Zoom, February 13th in person. Understood, Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Both of the matters the capious was set by Chief Judge, or not sure, I can't read the writing, but they were set on about June 17th of 2022. Bonds were set at $25,000 cash on each. According to Madam Clerk, Judge Giles did not authorize changing of the bonds. Anything from the people?
No, Your Honor, we would ask, obviously, and even though the judge, you're keeping it, that the bond remain in place. So, thank you.
No argument that as the court has made a ruling.
Thank you. And defense counsel, these are unaffordable?
Yes, Your Honor.
So on both matters, Mr. Jones, as stated, the bond was set June 17, 2022, $25,000 cash. I have no authority to change those bonds. Those will be continued on both. On both, you have the same conditions: no use of any alcohol, no illegal controlled substance, and you are not to purchase or possess a firearm or any dangerous weapons, no drugs, no weapons. On both, there's unaffordable according to counsel, your counsel. So I'm scheduling an unaffordable bond redetermination hearing on both 2 days from today, January 30th, 2025, 9 a.m. via Zoom, Chief Judge McConaughey or someone in his stead. If you're unable to post those bonds, you'll see the Chief Judge or someone in his stead with defense counsel present, and you'll have an opportunity to re-argue bond at that point. Do you have any questions on your court dates or bond conditions, Mr. Jones?
No, sir.
Show up the court.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Isaac Ruffin.
Thank you. Are you the third? Mr. Ruffin, are you the third?
Say it again, I didn't even hear you.
Are you Isaac Ruffin the third?
Yes, the third, yes.
Thank you. One moment. Mr. Isaac Ruffin, the third, case 2505552, People State of Michigan versus Isaac Ruffin the third. Appearance for the people.
Jennifer Douglas for the people, P72748.
Thanks.
Christina Harris, P52857, on behalf of Isaac Ruffin III, who stands mute, waives the formal reading of the complaint, and has been advised of the statutory and constitutional rights.
Thank you. For waive formal reading and I plead not guilty. Mr. Ruffin III, I'm scheduling two court dates. You must attend both of them. Probable cause via Zoom. February 6th, Thursday, 8:30, 36th District Court, Judge Jefferson. You have a right to a preliminary examination in person the following Thursday, February 13th, in person, 8:30, 36th District Court, Judge Jefferson. Understood?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Not guilty. Please enter on your behalf. Waive formal reading as to bond from the people.
Your Honor, on Mr. Ruffin III, the people wouldn't object to a 35,000 personal bond. We would ask for a condition of no alcohol, as it appears that possibly played a role here. This is alleged to have involved a ticketing of a car parked on the sidewalk in front of a bar and grill. So, Your Honor, we believe that given Mr. Ruffin's priors are older priors, he does have some serious priors, but they are from 2005 and 2006. I didn't see anything subsequent to that. I'm not going to object to 35,000 personal.
Thank you. Response?
No objection to a personal bond. Mr. Ruffin III works in construction as a carpenter, and we would not like any bond provision to interfere with his ability to work. So we're asking for a 10,000 personal
Thank you.
bond.
All right, thank you. Mr. Ruffin III, you have a lengthy criminal history. I see felony convictions, receiving a concealed motor vehicle, conviction, felony police officer, conviction, felonious assault, conviction, felonious assault, conviction, financial transaction, conviction, financial. I could go, you have a large amount of felony convictions, sir. Now here we are, another felony allegation. And I do have a review of the report, find there to be a high likelihood of conviction. And it also indicates that during this incident, Officer Bell sustained a busted lip. Officer Ruffin and was conveyed to hospital for injuries. Wait, hold on. So, Mr. Ruffin III, I've heard advocacy from both parties. This is a concerning allegation. I'm going to follow both parties' recommendation after review, or the people's recommendation after review the report. Bond will be set 35,000 personal bond. During this bond, there is no use of any alcohol, no illegal controlled substance, and you're not to purchase or possess, put your hand down. You're not to purchase or possess a firearm or any dangerous weapon, no weapons. Now, Mr. Ruffin III, do you have any questions on your court dates or bond conditions, sir?
No.
Okay. You're all set. Show up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Did you want that other in person?
Oh, my bad. My name is Jerry Steen.
Thank you, Mr. Steen. And Defense Counsel, Ms. Harris, just to check, is Carrie Houston, that other walk-in, have you guys, has anybody seen her?
Let me check, please.
Okay, let me know. Thank you. And good afternoon, Mr. Steen.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, thank you. Let's put your hands down by your side. Let's not play with your hair. Thank you. All right, this case 250-555-34, People State of Michigan versus Darius Devon Steen, appearance for the people. You're on mute, Ms. Coyle, APA Coyle.
Sorry. Lisa Coyle appearing on behalf of the people. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
Christina Harris, P52857, on behalf of Darius Devon or Devon Steen, who stands mute, waives the formal reading of the complaint, and he's been advised of all his statutory and constitutional rights.
Thank you, Counsel. Court, wait formal reading under plea of not guilty. Mr. Steen, I'm scheduling 2 court dates, sir. You must attend both of them. Probable cause via Zoom, February 6th, Thursday, 8:30, 36th District Court, Judge Jefferson. You have a right to a preliminary examination in person the following Thursday, February 13th, 8:30, Judge Jefferson. Both on a Thursday. Understood, Mr. Steen?
Yes.
Not guilty, please enter on your behalf, waive formal reading as the bond from the people.
Your Honor, in this matter, the people are asking for 5,000, 10%, and with tether. And I understand it's a possession of ecstasy, which is a 10-year offense, non-assaultive. But he is currently on probation. He was placed on probation August 29th of 24 for a CCW that was reduced down to a misdemeanor before Judge Robbins. And so he's currently on probation for that. This here is a domestic violence arrest. Obviously here, based on the charges, the complainant is refusing to prosecute, but it is highly assaultive when you read the allegations in the IR. It appears that there are only 15 ecstasy pills on him. That it indicates to me that is probably for personal use. Per the pat down, that's what they recover. Based on his actions, his alleged actions at the time the police are there, based on the evidence that's found on him, Your Honor, I believe he could be a danger to not only this complainant, but to the community. He is on probation, so I'm asking for that 5,000, 10% with the tether.
And then are you have concerns about the complainant's safety?
That is what
Elon,
I'm saying, yes, because it looks to me like the amount of narcotics that's found on him is more for personal use. It's only 15 ecstasy pills. So that it indicates more use, and his volatile behavior allegedly is frightening. So based on that, that's why I'm asking for that.
Thank you. Response?
To respond by saying that Mr. Steen is innocent until he's proven guilty, and he is charged with possession of methamphetamine or ecstasy. However, he's not charged with any assaultive crime. So I take exception to that being brought up when he's not charged with that offense. He understands the importance of returning for court. He is employed at Universal the Plant. He understands that the seriousness of these allegations.
What are his work hours, counsel?
Mr. Steen, what are your work hours?
From 11 to 7.
11 a.m. to 7 p.m.?
11 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Okay.
And they about to switch over in favor of the fifth. I don't have to go to the second shift, but I don't know what time second shift starts. But for now, I'm at 11 to 7.
Okay, so we'll deal with 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., please, and thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Anything else?
We're asking for a personal bond so that particularly he does not lose his employment.
Thank you.
10,000 personal. This is a non-assaultive crime, and as I didn't know the number, but as Sister Counsel stated, 15 pieces of what is alleged to be a controlled substance.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Steen, this is a non-assaultive charge. We have assaultive allegations in the investigator's report. We're here for a controlled substance 10-year max felony. I've heard advocacy from both parties. Your counsel as always advocates well on your behalf. Where I have the high concerns is that you're on probation for another felony conviction. And now here we are on probation for a felony conviction, and you're picking up allegations of this nature. That makes it very concerning, Mr. Steen. And I have taken into consideration your employment status as it relates to ability to post bond, as well as stated the nature of the charge and the information alleged in the investigator's report. And for those reasons, given your probation status, felony conviction, and as well as the nature of this charge, I'm following both parties' recommendation in part. You're going to be released on this matter, Mr. Steen, on a $10,000 personal bond as recommended by your counsel with the following conditions. During this bond, there is no use of any alcohol, no illegal controlled substance. You are not to purchase or possess a firearm or any dangerous weapon, no weapons. Within 24 hours of being released, you must tell your probation officer that you picked up this new case. Before being released, you'll be fit with a GPS tether with a curfew of 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. During those hours, you remain in your home not to leave for any reason unless court ordered or medical. During this bond, you're not to go anywhere near the Gladstone Street address or Elon Thomas. No contact with Mr. Thomas means no contact of any kind. Miss Thomas, I apologize. That means no contact of any kind. No contact orally in writing through a third party at her place of residency or through any forms of social media. If you go anywhere near the Gladstone address or Miss Thomas, you'll be fit with a tether. That would be a violation of your bond. That substitute you picked up without a warrant, have your bond conditions forfeited and or revoked. Do you have any questions on your court dates or bond conditions, Mr. Steen?
Yes. No, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Okay. No,
Your Honor?
they're fine. If you have questions, ask. Yeah, go ahead.
I would just like to make it clear for the record that he's on probation for a misdemeanor reduced from a felony.
Oh, I thought you said CCW probation.
Yeah, it was a CCW reduced to a misdemeanor to Judge Robbins.
Got you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything further from the defense?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
You had a question about your court dates or bond conditions, Mr. Steen?
No, Your Honor, I don't think.
All right. You're all set. Listen to- Go ahead.
Elon Thomas, like, really, she's my best friend, and she got a
Mr. Steen,
Okay.
please don't get into the facts of the case.
Okay, understand.
This is not the time for that. There will be time to get into the facts, but this isn't the time.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, best of luck to you.
All right, that's it.
All right, DDC and both councils, just to let you know, we got two add-ons. Anthony Simmons and Willanisha Crosby.
Okay, and I did want to say, Your Honors, that you asked about Carrie Houston, have not been able to locate that person.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that. All right, your name?
Edmund Johnson.
Thank you, Edmund Johnson. You're here for a couple of reasons. We'll go through them one at a time. First, you have a number of warrants for your arrest for failing to appear at the 36th District Court. On these matters, Mr. Johnson, you'll get a personal bond, no dollar amount, on scheduling a pretrial date via Zoom. You must attend February the 5th, 8:30, 36th District Court, Judge Williams. Understood, Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
As with any criminal matter, sir, you have a right to remain silent. Anything that you say orally or in writing can and will be used against you in the court of law. You do have the right to an attorney, one present at questioning and at all future proceedings. If you cannot afford an attorney, Mr. Johnson, the court will appoint you one at the public's expense. Did you hear and understand your rights?
Yes.
Thank you. This is ticket numbers SP 1301396, January the 17th of 2022. Count 1, driver's license never acquired. Count 2 and 3 are both civil infractions. Ticket number SP 1495502, August 30th of 2023. Count 1, driveway license not valid or improper license. SP 1498623, September the 8th of 2023. Count 1, driveway license not valid or improper license. SP 1498646, September the 8th of 2023. Count 1, no insurance misdemeanor on a 99 Chevy. Count 2 is a civil infraction. SP 1564191, March 20th of 2024. Count 1, driver's license number acquired. Count 2, no insurance, a misdemeanor, and an 04 Toyota. SP 1574717, April the 14th of 2024. Count 1, drive unregistered or untitled motor vehicle. Count 2, no insurance, a misdemeanor on an 04 Toyota. Count 3, drive while license suspended. SP 1614046, August the 17th, 2024. Count 1, drive while license suspended. Count 2, no insurance misdemeanor on an 04 Toyota. During this bond, there is to be no driving. Understood?
Understood.
And ticket SX3, strike the SX4388125. July 15th, 2024, count 1, no operator's license on person. These are all misdemeanor allegations carrying up to a $500 fine and or 93 days in jail as a maximum fine and penalty. Recall warrant, set aside capious and a not guilty plea on these open matters. As a reminder, personal bond, no dollar amount, no driving. You'll have a pretrial via Zoom, February 5th, 8:30, Judge Williams via Zoom, 36th District Court. Mr. Johnson, state your full name again. You have an additional case.
Edmund Johnson.
Case 250-55533, People State of Michigan versus Edmund Anthony Johnson, appearance for the people.
Steve Benson, P71917.
Thanks.
Good afternoon, Christina Harris, P52857, on behalf of Edmund Johnson, who stands mute, waives the formal reading of the complaint, and has been advised of his statutory and constitutional rights.
Thank you. Court waive formal reading under plea of not guilty. Mr. Johnson, on these allegations, I'm scheduling 2 court dates. You must attend both of them. Probable cause via Zoom, February 6th, 8:30, 36th District Court, Judge Giles. You have a right to a preliminary examination in person, February 12th, 8:30, 36th District Court, Judge Giles. Understood those 2 court date and times you must attend, Mr. Johnson.
So the, can you say it 2 days again, please?
Sure. February the 6th via Zoom on a Thursday, Judge Giles. February 12th, the following Wednesday, in person, both Judge Giles, both 8:30, 36th District Court. Understood?
Understood.
Not guilty, please, on your behalf, waive formal reading as the bond from the people.
Serious but non-assaultive. We're not going to be objecting to a personal.
Thank you. And we echo and concur with the personal bond for Mr. Johnson. He has no prior criminal history, no pending cases. He works as a contractor and has a life resident of the city. He understands the importance of returning. This alleged incident even happened on the property of his employer. So for that reason, asking for him to definitely be able to continue and maintain his employment with a $10,000 personal bond is what I'm arguing for from the court. Please and thank you.
Mr. Johnson, this is a non-assault of serious allegations. I'm unaware of any history, criminal or otherwise, capious history. I've reviewed the investigator's report. I'm following each party's recommendation for that reason, given the nature of the charges. Bond will be set $7,500 personal bond. During this bond, Mr. Johnson, there is no use of any alcohol, no illegal controlled substance, and you're not to purchase or possess a firearm or any dangerous weapon, no weapons. Any questions on your court dates or your bond conditions, Mr. Johnson?
No.
All right, good luck. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Magistrate, I haven't heard that number in a while. The 7,500 it's been a minute.
Name, sir? Anthony Simmons Sr. Is everybody ready on that matter? I know this was a late add-on.
Yes. Ready, Your Honor.
Ready, Your Honor.
Thank you both. Thanks, everybody. It's case 250-55536, People State of Michigan versus Anthony Simmons Sr., also known as Anthony Simmons. Appearances.
Emily Ragman for the people, Your Honor.
Thank
Good
you.
afternoon, Christina Harris, P52857, on behalf of Anthony Simmons Sr., who stands mute, waives the formal reading of the complaint, and has been advised of the statutory and constitutional rights.
Thank you. Court waive formal reading under plea of not guilty. Mr. Simmons, the court scheduling 2 court dates. You must attend both probable cause via Zoom. Thursday, February 6th, 8:30, 36th District Court, Judge Giles. You have a right to preliminary examination in person the following Wednesday, February 12th, 8:30, 36th District Court, Judge Giles. Understood those 2 court dating times you must attend, Mr. Simmons.
Yeah, Thursday, February 6th, and Wednesday, February 7th in person.
Thank you for paying attention. That is correct. Not guilty, please enter it on your behalf. Waive formal reading.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Will the Zoom information be available to me?
I don't give it to you. If you may get it before you leave. It's Judge Giles at the 36th District Court. You can log on 36districtcourt.org on our court's website and join there. Or contact the court or your attorney, or show up in person if you can't figure it out. But you can log in through our court's website, 36districtcourt.org, O-R-G.
Thank
you. You're welcome. Not guilty, please enter on your behalf as the bond from the people.
Yeah, people are asking for a $5,000 personal bond in this matter. The defendant has a prior from 1988, I believe, or something, but not assaultive. And I think he borrowed a friend's car thinking he could use it. And apparently he should. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
No objection to the 5,000 personal bond. As I believe the evidence will show that this was a big misunderstanding. Mr. Simmons understands the importance, as he has recited to the court, the dates that he must return and for his court hearing. And for that reason, I echo and concur with counsel's recommendation of $5,000 personal.
Thank you both. Mr. Simmons Sr., this is a non-assaultive allegation. No assaultive history. I've heard advocacy from both parties, reviewing the investigator's report. I'm following their recommendation, Mr. Simmons Sr. You'll be released on a $5,000 personal bond. During this bond, there is no use of any alcohol, no illegal controlled substance. You're not to purchase or possess a firearm or any dangerous weapon, no weapons, and no contact while on bond with the complaining witness, Mr. Caracia. No contact is no contact of any kind, orally in writing through a third party at his place of residency, employment, or through any forms of social media. No contact with the complaining witness. If you have any questions on your court dates or your bond conditions, sir.
So everything is understood, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, all right, you're welcome. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are the arrest females?
I think I have all the rest is females, Your Honor.
Each on the female side.
What do I have?
I'm sorry.
Your name, please.
Robin Franklin.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Ms. Frank. You're here on case 25044-170, People's State of Michigan, Robin Sierra Franklin, here to the people.
Thank you, Magistrate Steve Benson, P 71917.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, Christina Harris, P 52857, on behalf of, I'm going to ask you to spell your name, ma'am.
ROBLYN.
Ms. Martin, February, pay attention to me. February the 6th, Thursday, via Zoom at 8:30 a.m., 36th District Court in front of Judge Bryant. You have to attend that court date. February 6th, via Zoom, understood?
Yes, sir.
Not guilty, please entered on your behalf as the bond from the people.
Your Honor, for Ms. Martin, the people don't object to a $25,000 personal bond if there's a no contact order. We would just ask that for any no contact order, the court make it clear to Ms. Martin that it should be no contact for any reason at all, whether it's to do with grandchildren or otherwise. And if there's that no contact order, we believe that $25,000 personal should suffice.
Thank you. Response?
Responding by stating this is a family dispute and that I would argue would also that Ms. Martin has no prior criminal history, no history of probation or parole. She's employed on a full-time basis, and I'm asking for a $5,000 personal bond. She understands the importance of coming back for all court hearings, and thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Miss Martin does have a 2016 OWI according to her lien, but I didn't see any other convictions besides that.
Okay, doesn't. Any response to that, counsel?
No, I don't think that that's relevant to this matter here, and
Yeah, I found it relevant.
okay. And that she would return, is no threat to the public, and is no flight risk.
Thank you. I find any convictions relevant when somebody's being charged with another crime, especially an assaultive crime. So the weight of its relevance is determined and depending, but it's definitely relevant to the court. And so APA Douglas, I thank you for bringing that to the court's attention. Ms. Martin, your counsel's advocated well on your behalf. You've heard this is a misdemeanor allegation. It's assaultive. I've reviewed the investigator's report. I'm unaware of any assaultive convictions. I'm considering any employment status presented by counsel as relates to ability to post bond, as well as a review of the report. And for those reasons, bond is going to be set, given the nature of this allegation, lack of assaultive history, as recommended by the people, $25,000 personal bond with the following conditions. During this bond, Ms. Martin, there is no use of any alcohol, no illegal controlled substance. You're not to purchase or possess a firearm or any dangerous weapons, no weapons. Ms. Martin, pay attention.
Yes.
No contact with the Yonka Street of any kind. and absolutely no contact with the complaining witness, Ms. Hutchins. And that is no contact orally in writing through a third party at her place of residency, employment, or through any forms of social media. Absolutely no contact of any kind for any reason with Ms. Hutchins. I stress that condition because if you violate, you're likely to get a violation of this bond subject that could get you picked up without a warrant, regardless of your guilt or innocence. You have to listen. No contact with Ms. Hutchins. Is that all understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you have any questions on your court date or bond conditions?
No, not on my court date or bond conditions, but, the young lady that has been at my house of residence.
Miss Martin.
Wait one
Ms. Martin,
second, your attorney wants to give you some advice before you speak, so just listen to your
Ms.
counsel. Go
Martin,
ahead,
I
Sam.
recommend that you not make any statements about this case. This is the time for the arraignment. There will definitely be a time for your comments to be heard about the facts of this case. But right now, you have been arraigned. You've received a $25,000 personal bond, and you have a hearing on February 6th. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and after advice of counsel, Ms. Martin, do you have any questions on your court date or bond conditions?
No, sir.
Okay, you're all set.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too, thank you. You're welcome. Your name, please?
Roberta Smith.
No. All right, Ms. Smith, you're here for a couple of reasons. We're gonna go through them one at a time. First, you have some warrants for your arrest for failing to appear at the 36th District Court. On these matters, Ms. Smith, you'll receive a personal bond, no dollar amount. I'm scheduling a pretrial via Zoom you must attend in front of Judge Archer on February the 4th, 8:30, 36th District Court. February 4th via Zoom. Understood, Ms. Smith?
Yes, Your Honor. Can I repeat that? Because I think I heard you, but I thought I did. I think I did. You said,
Okay.
no, you said in front of Judge Archer, 36th District, 8:30, February 4th. Okay.
You heard everything perfectly. Thank you for paying attention. That's all right. Ms. Smith, as with any criminal matter, you have a right to remain silent. Anything that you say orally or in writing can and will be used against you in a court of law. Have the right to an attorney at questioning and at all future proceedings. If you cannot afford an attorney, the court will appoint you one at the public's expense. Did you hear and understand your rights, Ms. Smith?
I do.
This is on complaint U5576-36320, Wednesday, March 18th, 2020. Disorderly conduct near Grand River and Schaefer on a D-Dot bus. Case number 074280953, February 20th, 2007. Count 1, failed to display valid license not on person. Count 2, drive unregistered untitled motor vehicle. Count 3, no insurance misdemeanor on the 92 Mercury. And case number 074280951, March 20th, 2007. Count 1, failed to display valid license non person. Count 2, drive unregistered untitled motor vehicle. Count 3, no insurance on the 92 Mercury. These look like the same duplicates, same one. These are all misdemeanors that carry up to a $500 fine and or 93 days in jail as a maximum fine and penalty. Recall warrant set aside KP Center a not guilty plea. As a reminder, February 4th via Zoom, 8:30, Judge Archer. Ms. Smith, you have an additional case. State your full name again.
Roberta Smith.
Thank you. This is case 2504428. People State of Michigan versus Roberto Letitia Smith, also known as Roberta Latent Smith, Roberta Bird, Roberta Letitia Smith, Roberta Smith. APA Vincent appearance.
Thank you, Magistrate Steve Vincent from 71917.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Christina Harris, P52857, on behalf of Roberta Smith, who stands mute, waives the formal reading of the complaint, and has been advised of her statutory and constitutional rights.
Thank you. For a waive formal reading and her plea of not guilty. Ms. Smith, on this matter, I'm scheduling a pretrial date via Zoom. You must attend on February 7th. That's a Friday, 8:30, 36th District Court, Judge Jones. Understood?
Yes, did you? Did he say?
Not guilty, please. Yeah, but did you hear me? February 7th, Judge Jones at 8:30?
I did.
Thank you. Not guilty, please entered on your behalf as the bond from the people.
Magistrate, I wouldn't usually do this. Usually when it comes to misdemeanor assault cases, I'll be asking for a personal bond, possibly with monitorization. But in this case, we are asking for a 10%. The allegations speak for themselves. We have a complainant who subsequently ended up having to go to the hospital as a direct result of this assault. And the assault had to do with the slamming of the head and kicking the individual while they were down. And you can see the discrepancy in age as well. This defendant does have criminal history, most recent being a 2021 home invasion, second degree. Prior to that, she was convicted of a felony RNO. So at this time, we're going to be asking for that 10%. Highly assaultive. We do feel as though at the very least she's a danger to the complaining witness.
So you're asking 10,000, 10%. What would the people's recommendation be if I gave a tether and a personal? Or what would your position be?
Magistrate, you know I'm always going to defer to you. My request is the cash, but listen, you're the smartest person in the room. So if that's what you feel is appropriate, the people would agree with that.
Thank you. Okay, response.
I enjoy responding to very smart people. And so in stating that this was an altercation between two people, and I'll say that my client, Ms. Smith, is innocent until she's proven guilty. This might have been a situation of a mutual combatant situation. She has, as Mr. Prosecutor has stated, a home invasion in 2021, 2022, but no assaultive contact with anyone. She cannot afford a $100 bond. And I'm asking that she not be incarcerated on an assault and battery matter. And so I'm asking for that reason, maybe we can do a $20,000 personal bond. And if the court sees that a tether is necessary, that would be fine. But she understands the importance of returning for court, has no capious history. She's not a danger to the public, and she's not a flight risk. And for that reason, I ask for a personal bond.
Thank you.
So that she can be out and also assist with her defense.
Thank you both. Ms. Smith, I've heard advocacy from both parties. This is a charge as a misdemeanor, as pointed out, 93-day misdemeanor, but it's a very serious assaultive misdemeanor. It's alleged that you repeatedly assaulted this woman several times, and to a point where she was had to be treated at the Detroit Receiving Hospital. Alleged, amongst other things, it's alleged you kicked the complainant several times, over and over again once they fell. Further alleged that she slammed her head into the wall 3 times. And then this was a point that importantly that she required hospitalization, as indicated in the investigator's report. Discharge paperwork from Detroit Receiving Hospital was provided to the detectives or the investigators in this matter. Given the nature of these allegations, the allegations of repeated assault, which is very concerning to the court, and allegations of injury requiring hospitalization, I do find you to be a danger to this complaining witness, having that it being escalated not only to a point of allegations of kicking over and over when the individual is on the floor, also allegations of slamming her head into the wall multiple times. And for those reasons, bond is going to be set as at a $20,000 personal bond with the following conditions. During this bond, there is no use of any alcohol, no illegal controlled substance. You're not to purchase or possess a firearm or any dangerous weapon, no weapons. You're not to have any contact with the MAC address in the city of Detroit. You cannot go anywhere near the 6309 MAC address. No contact with the complaining witness, Miss Atwater, and that's no contact of any kind, orally in writing, through a third party at their place of residency, employment, or through any forms of social media. And given the escalation of these allegations, as well as the allegations of injuries and the concerns the court's placed on the record, you will be fit with a GPS tether prior to being released. And that will place you under a curfew of 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. During those hours, you are to remain in your home, nowhere near the MAC address, and not to leave for any reason unless court ordered. If you go anywhere near Miss Atwater, the MAC address, or violate curfew in any way, you're subject to get picked up without a warrant and have your bond conditions forfeited and or revoked. Do you have any questions on your court date or bond conditions?
No, sir.
Good luck. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Johnson.
Your name, please.
Hello. Taylor
Hi.
Denison. Hello.
Thank you. Hello. Good afternoon, Ms. Jackson. You're here on case number 25044-030-25044-301. People State of Michigan vs. Taylor Monet Johnson, also known as Taylor Johnson. Appearance for the people.
Thank you, Magistrate. Again, good afternoon. Steve Vincent, P71917.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Christina Harris, P52857, on behalf of Taylor Johnson, who stands mute, waives the formal reading of the complaint, and has been advised of her statutory and constitutional rights.
Thank you both for a waive formal reading and her plea of not guilty. Ms. Johnson, on this matter, I'm scheduling a pretrial date via Zoom. You must attend February 7th. That's a Friday at 8:30, 36th District Court via Zoom, Judge Austin Garrett. Understood, Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Thank you. Not guilty. Plea is entered on your behalf as a bond from the people.
Magistrate, the only thing I can say here, all relationships end differently. Unfortunately, the ending of this one had a little bit of assault. I don't have any priors regarding this individual. I think the most important thing is a no contact here through the pendency of the case between the defendant, the complainant. I don't know if that should be a problem because apparently it took place at her residence. So at this time, we're not going to be objecting to a personal with that no contact.
Thank you, sir. Response, ma'am.
Thank you. Ms. Johnson has no history of criminal behavior, activity, or contact. She's employed for a contracting services company. She's a life resident of this area. She understands the importance of coming back for every single court hearing and staying in contact with her counsel. For that reason, we're asking for a $5,000 personal bond.
Thank you both. This is an assaultive allegation, Ms. Johnson. I reviewed the investigator's report. I'm unaware that you have any assaultive history or capious history. I have considered your employment status presented by counsel as relates to ability to post bond. As charges a 93-day misdemeanor, given your lack of history and the allegations set forth, bond is going to be set at a $10,000 personal bond with the following conditions. During this bond, Ms. Johnson, there is no use of any alcohol, no illegal controlled substance. You are not to purchase or possess a firearm or any dangerous weapon, no weapons. During this bond, you're not to go anywhere near the Dupree Street or block in the city of Detroit, and no contact with the complaining witness, Mr. Jackson. That is no contact of any kind, orally, in writing, through a third party, at his place of residency, employment, or through any forms of social media. No contact with the Dupree block or Mr. Jackson during this bond. Do you have any questions on your court date or bond conditions, Ms. Johnson? Okay, good luck. That's why we're here.
No, I just wanted to see how I'll get on Zoom, but they're gonna show me.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, you all have a blessed day.
And then we have the last add-on, Will Anisha Crosby. Are you ready on that, people? Are the people ready?
I think we are, Magistrate.
The people
I
are,
appreciate you.
didn't think I was ready, but Sorry, I'm ready.
I had confidence in all of you. All right, Ms. Crosby, you're here for a couple of reasons. We're gonna, please just get your hands down by your side during this time. We're gonna go through them one at a time. First, you have a number of warrants for your arrest for failing to appear at the 36th District Court. On these matters, Ms. Crosby, you'll receive a personal bond, no dollar amount. I'm scheduling a pretrial via Zoom. You must attend February 7th. That's in front of Judge Kennedy at 1:30 p.m. Via Zoom at the 36th District Court. Understood?
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
Great.
Okay, as with any criminal matter, Ms. Crosby, you have a right to remain silent. Anything that you say orally or in writing can and will be used against you in the court of law. You do have the right to an attorney at questioning and at all future proceedings. If you cannot afford an attorney, the court will appoint you one at the public's expense. Did you hear and understand your rights, Ms. Crosby?
Yes.
Thank you. And this is ticket numbers SP 1041575, November 15, 2019. Count 1, driver license not valid or improper license. Count 2, driver unregistered untitled motor vehicle. Count 3, no insurance misdemeanor 074. SP 1041723, November 15, 2019. Allegation improper plates. Ticket number SP 1041750, November 15, 2019. Allowing an unlicensed driver to operate your SP 1212946, June 19, 2021, driver while license suspended. This is civil infraction. SP 1213285, July 8, 2021, count 1, no insurance misdemeanor 07 Chevy. Count 2, driver while license suspended. SP 1250843, September 15, 2021, count 1, driver while license suspended. Count 2, is a civil infraction. SP 1341976, April 15, 2022, count 1, drive unregistered untitled motor vehicle. Count 2, drive while license suspended. During this time, Ms. Crosby, there is to be no driving, understood?
Yes.
SP 142 Chevy, SP 1469785, June 29, 2023, count 1, drive while license suspended, repeat offender. Count 2, operating while visibly impaired. Count 3, drive unregistered or untitled motor vehicle. Also during this time, no driving, no use of any alcohol, and no illegal controlled substances. SP 1566476, March 25th, 2024, disorderly conduct. SP 1651839, January 16th, 2025. Drive while license suspended. Count 1, count 2, drive unregistered untitled motor vehicle. Count 3, no insurance misdemeanor 094. Case number 207175651. September the 7th, 2020, drive while license not valid or improper license. Count 2, drive unregistered untitled motor vehicle. Count 3, improper plates. These are all misdemeanor allegations, Ms. Crosby, carrying 3 days in jail as a maximum fine and penalty. I'm recalling not guilty plea on these open matters. As a reminder, pre-trial is via Zoom, February 7th, 1:30 p.m., 36th District Court, Judge Kennedy. Again, absolutely no driving for any reason, no alcohol, and no illegal controlled substance. Is that all understood, Ms. Crosby?
Understood.
All right, state your full name again. You have an additional case.
Manisha Crosby.
Thank you, Ms. Crosby, and this is case 2504430, people state of Michigan versus Willanisha Alexia Crosby, also known as Willanisha Crosby, Alexia Crosby. Transfer the people.
Jennifer, people, P72748, Your Honor, on Ms. Crosby, the people wouldn't object to a 50,000 personal, but Your Honor, I would be asking for telling a curfew. I do have some concerns here in that the allegations would suggest either an inability or a refusal to manage anger. What we find particularly concerning is that based on what the sister told the police, Ms. Crosby hit the sister's vehicle twice, officers witnessing one strike of the vehicle. And so, Your Honor, given that that is alleged to have happened, given that Ms. Crosby allegedly was not cooperating with police and drove away from the scene before they caught up with her, we do have concerns about her showing up for court and following the rules that the court sets, especially the no driving rule, Your Honor, especially since the investigation report indicates that she has 4 prior driving with license suspended cases, Your Honor, and has never received a driver's license. So we do think that a tether would make it less likely that Ms. Crosby would be driving. We also have concern in that there was a child who was in the vehicle, not in a booster seat, who said that he had glass in his mouth and that it was hurting. Allegedly refused medical treatment for him. So, Your Honor, we do believe
Just a moment,
that
please, Ms. Crosby. Just a moment, please.
Would indicate someone with a large amount being properly handled. And so we do believe that that makes her a danger. And that's why I would be asking for tether and a curfew if there's a personal bond. As far as priors go, Ms. Crosby had a CCW where she got off probation September 6th of 24. Her HIDA was revoked in that case. Your Honor, that's the only prior I saw for her.
Thank you. APA response.
Yes. Ms. Crosby, she is a life resident of this area. She understands the importance of returning for all court hearings or no failure to appear history. She is not a threat or danger to society or the community. I've classified this and submit that this is a family disturbance. I'm asking for a personal bond for the reason that she's supposed to start a job tomorrow at a retail establishment and don't want her to miss her ability to seek or to gain and maintain employment. She has 2 children that she cares for, and for that reason, I'm asking for a $15,000 or $20,000 personal bond. And no tether because she's starting a new job, and I don't know if that would be in peril to her new employment. Thank you.
Thank you. What are her job hours going to be?
It varies. It varies. Tomorrow start at 9 to 5. 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., but it's gonna be different on the schedule.
Your Honor, it's a
Thank you.
retail establishment, a store that is open from like 10 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Thank you. Mr. Crosby, these are assaultive allegations, and they're concerning allegations. Allegation is that you were swinging knives at an individual, cars were struck, and it's alleged that the vehicle fled following the crash, and fled where an officer observed you from previous contact. There's allegations of flight in this matter, assaultive allegations, and then as you have a number of, I'm not aware that you've ever had a driver's license. According to the people, that you've had a number of allegations that we just handled about driving with a suspended license and otherwise. And now we have an allegation of you driving, hitting a vehicle, apparently fleeing the location after the crash, swinging knives at people, allegations of assault. And for those reasons, and children alleged.
That's not true.
These are allegations, but it's alleged that you then fled after being after an accident, damage and causing damage, and then fleeing the location as the allegation count 3. And for all of those reasons, I do have concerns about you continuing to drive. It doesn't appear that you have a driver's license, but it's apparent to the court that you don't listen and you continue to pick up allegation after allegation. For those.
I will not continue. I said, I understand what you're saying. I will not continue to drive.
Okay.
Hey, just one
We're
moment,
gonna
please,
help
Ms.
you out
Crosby.
with that with Ms. Crosby to make sure that you don't drive. I'm going to set bond as indicated. For those reasons, bond is set at 50,000 personal bond with the following conditions. Ms. Crosby, during this bond, there is no use of any alcohol, no illegal controlled substance. You're not to purchase or possess a firearm or any dangerous weapon, no weapons. Again, no driving, period. You're not to have any assault and harassment, intimidation, threatening contact with any minor children. No contact whatsoever with the Algonquin Street address or any complaining witness, including Miss Rutherford and Miss Rutherford. No contact with the complaining witness is no contact of any kind, orally in writing through a third party at their place of residency, employment, or through any forms of social media. No contact with the complaining witnesses. And to ensure the public safety, you are going to be fit with a GPS tether before release with a curfew of 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. During those hours, you're to remain in your home, not to leave. Pay attention, Ms. Crosby, to the court, not to leave for any reason. And if you drive for any reason whatsoever, or leave your residency or that wherever for any reason whatsoever, or have contact with the complaining witnesses, that's going to be a violation of the bond. And that would subject you picked back up, taken into custody, and possibly have your bond conditions forfeited and or revoked for not listening. Do you have any questions on your court dates or bond conditions? No driving for any reason. Any questions?
So I'm gonna make to the job tomorrow, I have to go get a GPS center.
Well, hopefully you're fit with the tether and released as soon as possible. Any other questions, Ms. Crosby? I am giving you work, opportunity to go to work. Your tether is 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. is your curfew. Those are the hours you're to remain at home. That should allow you the work hours that you've indicated, 9 to 5. That gives you plenty of hours to get to and from work. 2 hours to 4 hours to get home. Any other questions on court date or bond conditions?
Your Honor, I don't recall the pretrial date.
February 6th, Thursday via Zoom, 8:30, Judge Bryant. Ms.
Thank you.
Crosby, any questions on court date? You're welcome. Any questions on court date or bond conditions? No? Okay, anything from either party, defense or people?
Nothing, Your
Nothing
Honor.
from the
Thank you.
people. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. DDC, any males or females at 48 hours you're aware of that cannot wait till tomorrow morning?
No, sir.
I appreciate you all. Thank you. Have a good day, everybody. Be safe.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Madam Clerk, thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, DDC. Bye.
Harris. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Your Honor.